Capcom presents. Hello, this is a brand new Let's Play, but I've been doing this for this is the third time I'm doing a Phoenix Wright game. Ace Attorney. This time it's Trials and Tribulations. Lol, 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 lol. So this is the third of the Ace Attorney game series, but this time it starts off a little differently. It's the same Ace Attorney rules we all know and love, except there's a little extra thing about this one. Turn about memories. How did I get into this mess? Why? Why did I do that? That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying! Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about her, that girl. Stop it! Don't talk about her like that! It wasn't me! I didn't... I didn't do it! "5 years earlier, from the normal Phoenix Wright games, Mia Fey." That's right. Looks like this time, Phoenix Wright is the one that's on trial. Oh, this is gonna be good. It's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Ahem. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, good morning. Mia, please calm yourself down. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior, you know. What are you talking about? I'm relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me, I'm relaxed. Let go of my lapels. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer. I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today. Oh, that's right. This is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never you fear, my dear. I'm Marvin Grossberg. I'm at your service. Actually, this is my second time in court. Still, you surprised me. With your earnest request last night. Let me handle this case, you suddenly said. And quite forcefully, too. I just found out yesterday. About the case, I mean. What? And you already learned all the relevant facts? Well, about that. You see, I mean, of course I have! I think. Oh, dear. In any case, don't let our client see you're so nervous. You see, the poor young man in the pink sweater over there? That's our client. Good morning, everybody! Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia. I just want to say, I'll give it all I've got! Yep, it'll be fine, no problem! Oh, what's wrong? Do you have a cold or something, Mr. Wright? Actually, it's Wright. Like the Flying Brothers. People mess it up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. That's what this mask is for. My doc says this way I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says. Right, Mr. Wright, you have nothing to fear in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I'll save you. Please let go of my shirt. That's right. He's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You should stay strong for your client, Mia. Oh gosh, what am I doing pressing buttons? Actually, now would be a good time to check the court record. Let's see what we got. Attorney badge, proof of my profession, first and last time I used it was a year ago, and Doug's autopsy. I'll look over that later. Alright. My name is Mia Fey. I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. It's been 1 year since then, and well, here I am again. But this time I'll win. For my client, and for myself. Alright. Looks like this will be interesting. Playing as Mia Fey for once. Alright. Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it? Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem? I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was going to be leading the defense. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency. Emergency? But isn't that him standing there right next to you? Yes, well, you're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this? Don't let him scare you, Mia. Give him your toughest look. Of course, Your Honor. I think. Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statements, please. Very well. Well. I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. Don't worry, little girl. It'll be all over soon. What was that all about? Was he trying to trash talk me? Now then, I'd like to proceed under the summary of events on the day of question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. He was the 4th-year student studying pharmacology. So it sounds like he was a very bright young man. Yes, well, next we have a photo taken of the scene of the crime. Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body. And the defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway, they then called the police. Certainly makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. The court accepts this photo into the record as evidence. Awesome, already got something in the court record. By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo. Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. That's a fancy word. The truth is that this victim died a rather unusual death. An unusual death? What do you mean, Mr. Payne? Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question. Huh? A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I am a genteel man, if you will. A what? Stand up to him, Mia. Show him what you're made of. A perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause. Go on. Please say you know at least this much. I'm so sorry. I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file. My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Too much information. Now see here. The details of the case are filed under the court record. But you knew that already, didn't you? The court record. I think I can see that by hitting this button here. Alright. Yeah. Cause of death was by fatal electric shock. Okay, April 9th at 3 p.m. Electric shock. All the weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good hard look at the data there. And think carefully before you answer, my dear. Yes, sir. I'll do just that. Okay, I've got to stay calm. I can't let that prosecutor get the better of me. The court record. Okay. Just hit the button here. Still. Oh, look, you can even look at pictures, just as last time. I mean, just look at all the photos we have. Marvin Grossberg, we have Phoenix Wright, 21. A whole 4 years before his career started. He's a 3rd-year student right now. Doug Swallow, Dahlia Hawthorne, Phoenix Wright's girlfriend. Oh, and Doug Swallow's ex. And Winston Payne. Yeah, veteran lawyer with a little too much confidence. Alright, now then, will the attorney go for the defense please answer the question? What was the cause of death? Electrocution. Asphyxiation is not it. Hypothermia means death by the temperature. Like typically coldness and freezing. Asphyxiation means you just couldn't breathe. Electrocution. According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution. Electrocution? But How could such a thing happen? Did the murderer use some sort of new, super powerful stun gun, perhaps? The answer is to that will become crystal clear as this trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there is one more vital issue. What's that? Why, motive, of course. Apparently there was some sort of bad blood between the victim and the defendant. Bad blood? What do you mean? Oopsie! I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this. I really don't like this guy's smug attitude. It's Winston Payne for you. He's one smooth operator, if you catch my drift. They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know. Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of the bad blood between the victim and the defendant? And this time, I would like to see some supporting evidence. Evidence? Ah, no need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all of the weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need and then shove it in old Greybeard's face. Yes, sir. In old Greybeard's face. Mr. Grossberg, try to set a better example for the young lady. But Mia, evidence is the only thing in the court record. People's profiles are in there as well. You can switch between them with the R button, or clicking this right here, after you're in the court record. Now then, let's see what you've got. What was the cause of the bad blood between Phoenix Wright and the victim? Well, it was Phoenix Wright's girlfriend and Doug Swallow's ex. The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here. Dahlia Hawthorne, is it? Very good, Miss Fay. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. But up until about 8 months ago, she was with the defendant, the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly she has some part to play in this story. Ah, he's done it again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants. Oh dear. Very well, Mr. Payne. Please call your first witness. If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call the Mr. Phoenix Wright. But what? The defendant himself? Well, Miss Fay? It's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection. Very well. Court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand. Alright, let's see what you got. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Oh, yes. My name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now I guess I'm a suspect. No. He meant what you did before you were arrested. What did you do before you were arrested? Oh, I'm a university student. Mr. Wright, you understand that you are suspected in the death of following... Wait, but I didn't do it! I'm done this to tell you! I'm telling you I'm... Would the defendant please refrain from passing on his cold to the rest of us? It seems the witness has something he wants to say. Well then, Mr. Wright, please tell us about your relation to the victim. Right away, Your Honor. The victim and I admit I was there. But I'm not the killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. And I never even talked to this stuck-up British wannabe. I see. So you hardly knew the victim. Right, like I said, I'm not a killer. Looks like the judge understands. You're being naive, you know. Too naive. Huh? It seems that you've forgotten one small thing, young lady. And that would be? This witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination. Cross-examination? That's right. It is the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine if the witness's testimony contains any contradictions. Contradictions? If the witness is lying, the statement will conflict with the court record. But Mr. Wright is my client! Even if he's your client, in the court, all eyes must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see. What does he mean by that? Is he saying the testimony just now... There was a lie, a contradiction? Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Fay. Please, Mr. Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? Come on. I admit I was there. We can press them like normal and present stuff. When you say there, you mean the place where the victim was murdered? Yeah, sort of. The place where something happened anyway. Something? You can't hide what happened. We have photographic evidence. Anyway, Mr. Wright, what were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim, Mr. Swallow. Yeah, it was just a coincidence. We bumped into each other by accident. Coincidence, huh? But I'm not the killer. All I did was find his body. You say you found the body, so who called the police? Huh? Unfortunately, it was some other students that notified the police. Other students? That's correct. They were witnesses. Witnesses who saw the defendant standing there next to the body in shock. Uh-oh. What? Is this true, Mr. Wright? Could you stop sneezing every time you're in a bind? Well, it's true that I was pretty shocked when I found the body. But I hardly knew the guy to begin with. So you didn't know his face, or even his name, right? Right! Well, no. That is... I mean... So, which is it? Do you know him or not? Now, see here! You can't avoid answering questions by sneezing all day! Well... I guess I did know his name. News to me! Why didn't he tell me that before? I heard he used to date Dolly. Who is this Dolly person? Ah, yes. That would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, I see. Ah, young love. So bittersweet. But that's all I knew about him! I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe! Mr. Wright, you stated the following your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right! That's right! I mean, I would even... But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe? Well, Mr. Wright? No, it wasn't me. I'm not a killer, I swear. Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim was, and as you put it, a British wannabe? Yes, well... He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. Oh, that's very British of him. Did you see it at the crime scene? The Union Jack, I mean. Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured he must love British stuff, see? That's true, cross my heart. I swear I didn't do it. He's acting fishier than the salmon I ate last night. May I ask you something, Miss Faye? Yes, Your Honor? What is it now? Who's the person anyway? This Union Jack fellow. The Union Jack is the name of the flag in England. Oh, I see. So you mean like the Stars and Stripes, right? As usual, Your Honor, your insight astounds me. Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bit just now? Mia, there's a contradiction here. Mr. Grossberg! Quickly now, show that boy you mean business. With evidence, I mean. Okay, Mia, check the court record carefully. Amelia, do you think you can manage on your own from this point? Back of his shirt. I can handle it myself. 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. I could do it. I can handle this myself. You must have tried to bite off more than you could chew, Mia. I'll be fine. I know what I have to do. Remember, you can always press him to get more information. Oh, one more thing. When you're going to state a contradiction, make sure you present some definitive proof. Okay, Mia. One more time from the very beginning of his testimony. I admit I was there. But I'm not the killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. He was always walking around with a huge Union Jack on the back of his shirt. Actually, can you tell?
Objection!
Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back. Miss Faye, is there some point of the line of questioning? Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing written on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute! He's wearing a leather jacket! The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know about that, would you? You have no idea at all what he's wearing underneath the jacket! Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me! Please forgive me! Yeah, you've made our client cry! Let him! Let him! The P on his chest doesn't even stand for Phoenix anyway! Can't believe I trusted him! Mr. Wright was all wrong! That was an impressive bit of cross-examination. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It was quite clear this man has not simply stumbled across the scene of the crime. Uh-oh. Did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright, you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it? Yeah, I took some, but... Was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X? Yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How did you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X? Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now? Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. He lost it? Does this have anything to do with the case? Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now? Huh? Your Honor, I'd like you to take a look at this other photo of the crime scene. What's that? It's the victim's hand. It's Cold Killer X. Yes, but even I've got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to. Especially with Mr. Wright's fingerprints all over it. What? Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up a bottle of medicine, dropped by Mr. Wright, and hid it in his hand. His purpose, on doing so, can only be to identify his killer as Mr. Phoenix Wright. Uh-oh. Order in the court! Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo as bottle as evidence. Very well. The court will accept them into the record. Oh, great. My case just gets better and better. Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken. Broken? Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all this? This is really bad. Oh my poor plans. Seriously? Well, the truth is, I went back because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, and we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then it was around 3, we split up. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime of the day of the accident. Mr. Wright, that's completely different than the testimony you gave previously. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth. You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible. Faye, please begin your cross-examination. Oh, please, Mr. Wright, don't tell me any more lies. Lies are only going to get worse. The truth is, I went because he called me. Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never! But that day, he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly. And this Dolly person is? My
it's kind of embarrassing. She's my sweetheart.
Oof! What was that for, Mia? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden. What?
Oh my gosh.
Dolly Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim, Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is. So it was one of those nasty love triangles, I see. Almost.
He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind the building.
Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated that you should meet at 2:45?
Yeah, and we were both there right on time.
You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct?
Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU.
An alchemist? I see. I gotta admit, I was a little suspicious. He made a whole laboratory and everything.
It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity.
Oh, how fascinating. Sounds like he was quite the ambitious young man. What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for more details? About the timing of the department. I want to check that photo again. His watch stopped. Okay. It's upside down. Wait a second. His watch is upside down, so 12 is at the bottom. And then the hour hand is almost at 3. It's going to be 3. So... Wait. That's 3-3. Okay, so he died at 3-3 by electricity. What does the autopsy say? Just wondering. At 3. Okay. Got it. Time meeting. So you're absolutely certain that you met at 2:45?
Yeah, pretty sure. That's the time in class ends. But they're always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much.
Experiments?
Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab whipping up something.
Well, looks like he's right about the time anyway. Witness, let's go on to your testimony. Alright.
We talked for a bit, and then at around 3 we split up.
So what was it that you were talking about?
You know, that maybe we should hang out sometime again.
Hang out again sometime? I wish that were true.
Then later we went back, I found him lying there.
So you say you went back? Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but what did you do when you to go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him?
Well, that's right, I was.
Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there?
I thought maybe we could make out.
Really? Judging by all the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this.
I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days.
It's rather unusual to catch cold this time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in the spring, huh?
I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine?
Well, I always took one after meals, so I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident.
On the day of the incident? What did you do for lunch?
Huh? What does that have to do with anything?
You can never be too sure.
I always eat with Dolly. Just the 2 of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest! Her mini omelets are magically delicious!
Ouch! Why do you punch me in the jaw? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. Well, Mia? Ow. I don't know. What is wrong with Mia? Is she jealous? Can't seem to find any contradictions. The boy isn't exactly what I'd call a natural-born liar, you know. But still, you can't have him continue to spout nonsense. I know.
What can I do?
Well, I'm certain he must still be hiding something. Information. Right now it's information we need more than anything else.
Alright. I'm gonna ask about the pharmacology department, just in case. Yep. About the pharmacology department. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. A little bit earlier in the testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. That's right. And they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high-voltage cables everywhere. High-voltage cables? Yeah, there are electrical poles set up all around the building. The high-voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere.
I think that's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason. I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either. Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted.
What do you mean?
I knew it was too much work for a little girl. Huh. However, there is one mystery that still remains. There is, Your Honor. How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct? Well, that is, You are correct, Your Honor.
So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. Alright. Your Honor.
Yes, Miss Faye?
I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up till now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died.
That would be the most impressive. Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court. You're right. Yes. An attorney must be able to substantiate their argument with evidence.
Of course I know that. Actually, I had totally forgotten about that.
Now then, Miss Faye, let me see what you got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted.
Well, in this photo, it's obvious. Take that! As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well.
What? But there was nothing even remotely resembling a murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this a bit more in detail.
Miss Faye, where exactly is the photo of the murder weapon?
This.
Well, naturally, it's right here.
That's...
What is that? A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we've heard? The machines the pharmacology students use as experiments require high voltage. And because of that, there are special high-voltage cables strung up everywhere.
So then, high-voltage cable?
Yes, the high-voltage cable is cause of death. That is the most likely explanation.
It certainly sounds plausible. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I believe some praise is in order. Don't toy with me, old man. Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed be a high-voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what it really implies. The only way one had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was... the defendant!
Oh gosh. That much is certainly true.
Yes, and it's not at all. We have proof.
The irrefutable proof that would establish Mr. Wright as the murderer. You do? Well, what is it?
His fingerprints.
Fingerprints? You mean the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you all know, you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. You mean... Yes, it's quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. It's the palm print of the defendant's own very hand.
What? I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electric cable. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Order, order, order! That's enough! I think we can conclude that there's no reason to continue this cross-examination. Stick a fork in us, we're done. Mr. Grossberg! Words never lie. The show is over, Mia. Ew. I know that boy was guilty from the first time I saw him. No! You're wrong! Mr. Wright is innocent! No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt. Your Honor! This time I am prepared to render a verdict in this case. Do you have something further to add, Miss Fay? Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down a verdict.
But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be...
It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me.
But... Miss Fay...
No matter what it is that you have to say, I believe in you and I'll represent you to the very end. We've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything.
Wait a minute!
Mr. Wright,
I tell you what really happened.
But I've already told you, Mr. Wright. There's no need to further...
I did it. I admit, I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that Doug Swallow's dead. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. It's because if you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about her. About that girl. Stop it! Don't talk to her like that!
What you just said, was that the truth?
Yes, I was afraid. Afraid that if I told the truth,
everyone would think I was the murderer for sure. Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are.
Please give me one more chance to explain. This time I swear I'll tell the whole truth. I'll be okay, won't it, Miss Fay? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim.
Oh, it feels like I'm doing the Harlem Shake.
What the? With you? I pushed the victim. That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back. He was laying there, dead.
Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that. A simple explanation indeed. At the time of the incident, the light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted.
But when I pushed him, there wasn't any electric cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed.
That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that. Miss Fay, let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it.
Come on. That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. So what kinds of things did Mr. Swallow say to you? He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said he was a bad girl. Is that all? Yep. Well, Miss Faye, you heard him yourself. Oh, boy. You're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make this harder than it already is. Anyway, after he said that, I lost my temper and I gave him a shove. Wow, Mr. Wright. Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail? That guy, he just said what he wanted me to say. What he wanted to say to me. And then I put the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I lost my temper and it flew in with a furious frenzy. I just gave him a light gentle shove on the chest. And when you did that, there was no severed cables anywhere to be seen? Right! There was nothing like that at all! It is possible that you merely overlooked it. Well, I guess it's possible. What are you doing? Don't let the guy steamroll over you like a cheap asphalt! I believe what's important here is the moment the push occurred. As we continue with his testimony, witness. At the moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A loud noise? And what would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud. It was like a snap. You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was. Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted. You're not qualified to decide that! What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. More detail. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important. So try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Could it have been... Yes, could it have been? Hurry up and tell us! When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. He fell right on top of it, and he broke. That was probably the noise I heard. An umbrella, huh? And did the umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella. Cheap and frail, kind of like the owner. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. It was totally soaked to the bone. Mr. Faye, what do you think? Is there something important in this testimony just now? Well, of course it's important! Isn't it, Mia? The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important! No, the cheap umbrella is more important. It's vital! I want to officially have it entered in the testimony. How perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer. Oh, shut up. Court agrees with the defense request. Witness, please add the bit of the cheap umbrella to the testimony. After I shoved him, he fell down on top of his cheap umbrella. So Mr. Swallow fell on top of the umbrella, and you are certain of this? Yeah, it was right under him. Actually, if it hadn't been under him, I was planning on borrowing it for myself. The umbrella, you mean? Well, yeah. You see, I was wearing the sweater here. Dolly stays up late in the night all the time. At a time knitting it for me. I didn't want the rain to dampen the handmade symbol of her love. Oof! My stomach is not to be used as your personal soccer ball, Mia. I'm so sorry. Continue with your testimony, witness. Wow, what is... Someone is jealous. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. After you shoved the victim, did you leave the scene right away? Yeah, yes, I did. I admit it, I was furious. You left without even checking Mr. Swallow's condition? Well, yeah. But like I said, I got worried about him later. So I went back, but he was laying there, dead. At the time, did you see anyone else at the scene of the crime? No, nobody. Jeez, could that stupid cough possibly sound any phonier? Hey, I'm doing a good job coughing. In that case, it's
very hard to believe someone else could have been the murderer. Unless we can find something that shows his innocence from the testimony, my dear. I'm afraid the judge will make his final decision with no remorse whatsoever. Yes, sir. Right now, I need more info. Info that'll help me turn up some contradictions. But I think I have one. It was about the umbrella. He fell down on top of his umbrella. However, if you look at this photo, that's impossible. Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on. If I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier. What do you mean by that? Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole. You're absolutely right. The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, as he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. No! Finally, it's in my favor. Order! 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 The victim... He moved? Mr. Payne! The umbrella in the photo. Where is it now? But, well, it's collected by the police at the crime scene. I want it presented as evidence immediately. Awesome, wonderful umbrella. But the umbrella could have simply been blown there by the wind. According to the testimony, the victim there fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind. I know this matter of the umbrella seems relevantly trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment. No! However, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony. Well, this is true. Well done, Mia! Mr. Payne, what are you talking about? Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much for a free ride. It was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone. I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying. Let me guess. You have another witness? Exactly. And this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible. Well, who is this witness? Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne? You don't mean Dolly? I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. What? I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. Bad news? You couldn't be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. You can't be serious. Mia, what do you mean by that? I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Looks like Mia handles the case just like Phoenix Wright does. Great. Miss Faye, I'm so sorry about what happened back there. It's alright. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah. So I guess I can't start to relax then, huh? Relax, my boy! You can't be serious after hiding such important facts. But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will. Why do you think that? Huh? What do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why. The love of your life, huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Sure, no problem. Dolly and I, we first met about 8 months ago, right here in this very courtroom. Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side. Anyway, one day, she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. As soon as I was first set my eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. She gave this to me the day we met as a symbol of our love.
She'd been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. But before she gave it to me, she said, "I want you to carry this."
She gave this to you as a present. I see.
This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little Dolly.
It certainly is a little bottle, alright.
Makes me so happy. I want to show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the whole world.
I'm gonna just borrow this. Anyway, so after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating?
Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now.
What a strange girl asking for a present back like that.
By the way,
Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dolly Hawthorne, 8 months ago, it wouldn't have to have been August 27th, would it? Uh-huh. Yeah, it was!
how did you know?
This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse.
What's this? A newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse.
Murder? What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there is some relationship between the two cases, am I right?
Actually, I do.
I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. I need to finish this myself. Yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear. I'll go and have a look at the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find. Thank you! I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia. Well, looks like recess is about over. We better all get moving. I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. And like 2, I bet. Alright. Gosh, this is starting to be a wonderful Let's Play. Alright, I'm Luigi Van 64D, and this is Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. Actually, right now it's Mia Fey. See you next time where we get to continue Mia Fey's trial and get to prove Phoenix Wright's innocence. See ya.